Hi readers, me here. Welcome to my Weekend Books Witchy edition. These are all the books I got last week that have a witch theme because April is witchy month for me. Now, one exception. This first book does not have a witchy theme, however I included it for a reason and I'll tell you about it in just a few. And that first book is The Last Love Song by Kalie Holdord. I love this cover, by the way. I'm not much of a book by the book because of the cover person, but I do appreciate a good cover. Love the colors on this, love how it's split. Let's see what it's about. After high school graduation, Mia Peters faces a summer full of painful goodbyes. Songwriting is her only solace. Everyone she knows is moving on, including Britt, her biggest supporter and kinda sorta girlfriend. Britt keeps pushing Mia to go bigger and do better than their small town, but Mia can't imagine a life beyond Sunset Cove. Besides, she refuses to follow in the footsteps of her late mother, country music star Tori Rose, who abandoned her family to pursue her dream, leaving Mia and her two grandmothers alone. Desperate for a sign of what might lie ahead, Mia finds the opposite. A mysterious letter from the past addressed to her in her mother's handwriting. It turns out to be the first of many. One by one, they lead Mia on a wild scavenger hunt through a Sunset Cove she never knew, buried under the memorializing that has frozen her mother in time. Each new discovery brings Mia closer to the real Tori Rose, but with the clock ticking on Britt's departure, Mia knows she's running out of time. With the summer winding down, Mia must decide if she is ready to face the present, confront her feelings, and forge the destiny she truly wants. This is a debut I didn't see this part. So this is a debut novel, and it is perfect for anyone who's ever tried to decode the clues in the lead up to a new Taylor Swift album. That's not something I've ever done. I do appreciate Taylor Swift's music. And I'm excited to read this. I almost wish it was a witchy book because it seems really good. It's going up there on Read Soon. I keep saying that, and then I'll have a stack. So, the reason I included this book is because of this book, Edie in Between by Laura Sibson. Again, another great cover, and I have to admit, the cover was 85% of why I bought this book. Because I could, this would have been something I could have glossed over. Pet peeve, I ordered this from the Amazon, and I don't know who this original seller of this was, but they put a fucking sticker on the back right over the ISBN code. It's impossible to get off without tearing, and again, it ruins the back cover and the barcode. Anywho, that rant aside, so Edie in Between, if you can't tell, it's going to have something to do with witchcraft and tarot. It's been a year since Edie's mother died, but her ghost has never left. According to her grandmother, it's tradition that the dead of the Mitchell family linger with the living. It's just, so again, a daughter with the missing or dead mother and grandmother involved. So very similar to The Last Love Song, but wait. It's just as much a part of Mitchell's life as brewing cordials or talking to plants, but Edie, whose pain over losing her mother is still fresh, has no interest in her family's legacy as local witches. When her mother's teenage journal tumbles into her life, her family's mystical inheritance becomes, once and for all, too hard to ignore. The journal takes Edie on a scavenger hunt to find objects that once belonged to her mother, each one imbued with a different memory. Love this. I might read this next. Every time she touches one of these talismans, it whisks her to another entry inside the journal, where she watches her teenage mom mourn, hope, and fall in love, just as Edie herself is now doing with the magnetic Rhea. But as Edie discovers, there's a dark secret behind her family's practice that she's unwittingly released. She'll have to embrace and master the magic she's always rejected before it consumes her. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, although I think it's got a little bit long chapters. We'll see. So, anyway, that's why I decided to include The Last Love Song. Covers have a similar color scheme, but there's also the scavenger hunt theme, and in both, it's letters from her mother and a journal from her mother. So the mother's writing, the mother gone in some way. Love that these two are themed together. It's not even the same person, but I would have placed these books together. Anywho, so the next book, the rest of these are all witchy. The next book is not quite what I was expecting. I was on the hunt for witchy books. This is not a new witchy book. This is an old witchy book. And I was expecting a full-size paperback. And what came in the mail was almost like a pamphlet. This is Christine Feehan's Magic in the Wind. It is a Drake sister story. It's hard to find in paperback. I could have got it in Kindle, but I wouldn't read it then, I know. So, anywho, this is 103 pages, but the font is so small. I might need to get one of the magnifying, rulers or something. I mean, I could read it. It's just not at all what I was expecting. Check the dimensions on your purchases, folks. Anywho, I don't have any other Christine Feehan. I know that she's a witchy writer, paranormal, romance. I don't typically go for... That's a lie. Anywho. So this is set in the town of Sea Haven, where Damon Wilder sought refuge. And ever since he's come home, he's heard, "Sarah's come home," the same breathless rumor passing from the lips of nearly every local in the sleepy coastal town. Even the wind seems to whisper her name, a reverie so powerfully suggestive that it carries the curious Damon to Sarah's cliff-top home and seeks to shelter him there. But Damon has not arrived alone. Two men have tracked him to Sea Haven and into the shadows of the Drake house, where Sarah hides her own secrets and danger, as well as a desire more urgent than either has ever known. That's why I haven't probably read any of hers. Is just a whisper away. I'm not sure. What am I talking about? Anywho. So, when I was looking up, Sarah has powers. Not sure she's a, air quotes, witch, but Sarah's got powers. This is one about sisters. They all have some sort of power. I'll read this sometime this month, probably. I'm still a little taken aback, and it certainly cost me more than $2.99. Anywho. Next book. I had seen this book a while back and did not buy it for some reason. Allergy season, sorry. That is The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cooke. And so this seems... The concept is interesting. Two sisters go missing on a remote Scottish island. 20 years later, one is found, but she's still the same age as when she disappeared. The secrets of witches have reached across centuries in this chilling gothic thriller from the author of the acclaimed The Nesting. Okay, so single mother Liv is commissioned to paint a mural in the 100-year-old lighthouse on a remote Scottish island. Ooh, vibes. And it's an opportunity to start over with her three daughters, Luna, Sapphire, and Clover. When two of her daughters go missing, she's frantic. She learns that the cave beneath the lighthouse was once a prison for women accused of witchcraft. The locals warn her about wildlings, supernatural beings who mimic human children, created by witches for revenge. Liv is told wildlings are dangerous and must be killed. 22 years later, Luna has been searching for her missing sisters and mother. I don't know why she's searching for her mother. That's a mystery. When she receives a call about her younger sister, Clover, she's initially ecstatic. Clover is the sister she remembers. except she's still 7 years old, the age she was when she vanished. Luna is worried Clover is a wildling. Luna has few memories of her time on the island, but she'll have to return to find the truth of what happened to her family. She doesn't realize just how much the truth will change her. Interesting. Next up is YA, as were the first two. However, this looks dark, and I can't wait. It is called Witches of Ash and Ruin by E. Latimer. 17-year-old Dana Wash is struggling to cope with her somatic OCD, the aftermath of being outed as bisexual in her conservative Irish town, and the return of her long-absent mother, who barely seems like a parent. But all that really matters to her is ascending and finally becoming a full witch. Plans that are complicated when another coven, rumored to have a sordid history with black magic, arrives in town with premonitions of death. Dana immediately finds herself at odds with the Minor King, the bewitchingly frustrating granddaughter of their coven leader. Whoa, not the Minor King. Minor King. I guess Minor is her first name. And then a witch turns up, murdered at a local sacred site, along with the blood symbol of the Butcher of Manchester, an infamous serial killer whose trail has long gone cold. The killer's motives are entangled in the complex web of witches and gods, and Dana and Minor soon find themselves at the center of it all, because if they don't stop the Butcher, one of them will be next. Hey, this is like a twofer. Witchy book and serial killer book. Awesome. It's going up there to read soon. I am slowed down a little bit. I have a little interlude here. I've slowed down a little bit reading this weekend because yesterday I went to see the movie Civil War, and after I finished it, I just had to sit and let it like marinate. I couldn't cloud my mind with any book. I needed to just think about that. And let me tell you, that movie, I had reservations about it, but I read enough reviews that eased my fears, and I'm so glad I went to see it. It was breathtaking. And when I say that, I mean that I literally almost forgot to breathe at the very end. It was an awesome, awesome movie. Highly recommend. Anywho, back to our regularly scheduled program. Next book I got is Improbable Magic for Cynical Witches by Kate Scelsa. I've never read this one. This is a, I guess, sapphic romance, witchy romance, I guess. We'll find out. 17-year-old Eleanor is the last person in Salem who would believe in witchcraft or to think that her life could be transferred by mysterious forces. After losing her best friend and first love, Chloe, Eleanor has spent the past year in a haze, vowing to stay away from anything resembling romance. So when a handwritten guide to tarot arrives in the mail at the Witchy souvenir store where Eleanor works, cynical Eleanor is quick to dismiss it until real-life witch Pix shows up with an unusual invitation. Inspired by the magic and mystery of the tarot, Eleanor decides to open herself up to Pix and her coven of witches, and even to the possibility of a new romance. But there's always a but. Eleanor's complicated history continues to haunt her. She will have to reckon with the old ghosts that threaten to destroy everything, even her new chance at love. So, I got to go to Salem way before the pandemic. I think it was like 2016. I had yellow hair then. Yellow and orange. It was awesome. It looked like fire. So I hope when I read this, I can like bring back the vibes of Salem. It was a very cool town. I went in the summer, and I still needed a jacket in the mornings, which I love. And plus all the witchy stuff, just so fun. Such a great place to visit. Finally, this is, I believe, the final book in the Practical Magic series. I think it was the last written, but I'm not certain. It is the Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman. I was so excited last week to realize that I knew there was at least one other book, but I didn't realize there were 3 other books that I didn't know about. So this one is about Sally's kids. For more than 300 years, a curse has kept the Owens family from love, but all of that is about to change. The novel begins in a library, the best place for a story to be conjured, when beloved Aunt Jet Owens hears the death watch beetle and knows she has only 7 days to live. Jet is not the only one in danger. The curse is already at work. A frantic attempt to save a young man's life spurs 3 generations of the Owens women and 1 long-lost brother to use their unusual gifts to break the curse as they travel from Paris to London to the English countryside, where their ancestor Maria Owens first practiced the unnamed art. The younger generation discovers secrets that have been hidden from them in matters of both magic and love by Sally Owens, their fiercely protective mother. As Kalie uncovers the truth about who she is and what her own dark powers are, her Aunt Franny comes to understand that she is ready to sacrifice everything for her family, and Sally realizes that she is willing to give up everything for love. I am going to read these as she wrote them. Did Sally have another love loss? I think so. Anywho, I've had a real good time with Witchy Month. It's been great to read things on a theme again. It's not over. I still got another couple weeks left. But I do look forward to breaking things up, reading more mystery and horror and thriller. And speaking of, I still have a couple more videos to do about Witchy Month, because I still have a couple other stacks of witchy books that I've already owned that go in another that fall in a different category. Anywho, that's all for me rambling on. I hope to see you later. Happy reading!